Greetings and welcome to AlonzoBash Podcast. I'm your host, AlonzoBash, and as always, I always say this is a special one, but everyone is special because I personally invite these individuals to the podcast. Because I believe these people have some great stories, legends in the space, and this individual right here, you heard the intro, is a legend in the DMV. Very humble man. He didn't really show his accolades and his status. But tonight we're gonna learn some things. Ladies and gentlemen, let's waste no time, man. DJ Trini, welcome, brother.
Yes. Greetings. What's up, Alonzo?
Yes, man. It's a pleasure.
Oh man, pleasure to be here, brother. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course. All right, so let's start. First thing first, man. We're from the same community, pretty much in Arima, Trinidad.
Arima, that's right. For all of those people that think I'm American, now you know. Arima in the building.
But the funny thing about that, I remember when I first came to the DMV, back in like 97, 98, them early years. I remember driving around, DMV, Maryland. And I remember listening to the radio, right? I remember hearing the DJ Trini, right? And I used to always say to myself, is this guy really Trini? Or he just had that name?
I get that all the time. And you know what I tell people? If you name yourself DJ Trini, and you're not from Trinidad, you're going to have a rough career, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
You're going to have a rough career.
True.
I'm born on the Twin Island. Very proud Trinidadian. I've been here since I was 6 years old, and we did what all Trinis do. We go to Brooklyn. Yeah. And from Brooklyn, DC.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, well, let's talk about your parentage, man. Mom and dad, and what was your upbringing like as a kid?
Man, I had a great childhood life between my parents and my grandmother. I had good family life, and you know how Arima living was. We were typical Arima family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a beautiful childhood. Then we moved to East New York.
Okay.
And it all changed from there, No more palm trees, no more coconut trees,
Yeah. Okay, so what was East New York like? So at this stage, your kids still like what, 6, 7, 8, 9? Middle school, elementary. School?
Yeah, it's elementary school. It was just horrible, bro. Yeah. Not just to mention the weather, the type of weather I had just come from,
Yeah.
If anybody know East New York, it's a whole different monster,
Yeah, man.
It's a whole different beast. So, but my parents got us out of there, and we stepped up to East Flatbush, if you want to call that a step up.
Okay. Upgrade.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, it was an upgrade.
Yeah. All right. So what were the parents like? I mean, your parents still with us?
Yeah. Well, my father, he passed during COVID.
Oh, condolences.
I have a stepfather that's just as close with me, and my mom is here.
Okay.
She's here in the DMV. And he's also here in the DMV too, my stepdad.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So you moved to East Flatbush. I guess at East Flatbush, that's heavy Caribbean as well. So what were some of your experiences as a kid?
I loved it as a child out there. Back in those days, it wasn't as many West Indians as it is today.
Okay.
So, we used to get teased and stuff. The kids would teach me because they'd come to my house and they'd be like, my name is Dirk, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, Dirk eating curry goat. We went over his house, they had curry goat.
Yeah. Yeah, they still do that too.
I saw the foot on the chicken. Yeah. I went to his house.
Yeah.
So we used to get teased heavily. Even when I came to the DMV, we used to get teased heavily. My parents had a strong accent. Right. Back in those days, I had an accent also.
Okay.
No, but I love my childhood. It made me to be the person that I am today. So I have no regrets whatsoever. My parents did a great job, and they did what they had to do, to make sure we had a good life.
Yeah. All right. So you moved to the DMV at what age? At high school years?
I came like 11 years old.
Okay.
But I moved back like 3 times.
Okay.
Like with family. Yes, young. With family and all of that. And my father stayed in Brooklyn.
Okay.
My mom moved here. She was divorced, and I lived with my mom here in the DMV and my stepfather.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So you're in high school here in the DMV. What was the high school that you attended?
I went to Northwestern High School. Wildcats. Wildcats, baby. Yes, we put out a lot of legends.
Yeah. What's some of the legends that came out of Northwest?
If you ever heard of Lynn Bias?
Yeah, the basketball player.
That's right. Lynn Bias was he was about as big, or if not bigger than Michael Jordan. They came out the same year.
Yeah.
And his younger brother, Jay Bias,
Yeah.
who was also a great basketball player, but he didn't make it out of high school before, violence struck. If y'all know the story, you know the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not only just DJ Trini, but Ricky Platinum, my partner in radio.
Yeah, man.
He also went to Northwestern.
Okay. And I think one other person too went to Northwestern.
DJ Alizé went to Northwestern also.
Another one.
Who that?
Didn't Edley go to Northwestern?
Edley Shine, yes. Edley was right. That's damn Edley, my bad, brother. Edley, my brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pay attention, man.
Yes, Louisdale.
Nice. All right. So what was the introduction to music as far as like before you even get into DJing, like what was your early introduction to music?
Well, as you know personally, once you're born in Trinidad, you have music in your DNA, whether you like it or not. I don't care if you're Jehovah's Witness, you have music in your DNA. That's what we that's a part of our culture, you know?
Yeah, man.
I don't think people really understand how deep music is in our culture.
Yeah.
You know? So my mother, soca right true, loud too. Yeah, not yet. Loud.
Yeah.
We had a lot of loud music in the house. My growing up with my stepfather, he was heavy into music and DJing. Okay.
Nice. All right. So when did you start when did you start DJing? I mean, you were looking at someone, somebody brought you a mixer. How that whole process began for you?
Well, when I was living here in the DMV, I used to go back to Brooklyn every summer. Okay. And my family that I stayed with, my aunt that I stayed with on East 92nd, in Brooklyn, they were in charge of the community. They organized the block party. We used to serve free lunches for the kids. Okay. So the kids would come and we would serve them in our house. Yeah, basement. The kids would come and all line up. We would get free lunch, serve them free lunches and things like that. And that's how that right. The block parties really was the first plug with the music. The DJs coming and this is when hip hop first started really getting heavy in New York City. So it was I really started out with hip hop. Yeah, really started out with hip hop. Hip hop was really the genre that really, helped me propel my career. Yeah. But I always had, Caribbean music, like I said, in my DNA. It was already there. Right. Yeah.
All right. So you attended high school. So after high school, what you did after high school?
I went to the University of Maryland. I went to college. And I also worked. I used to work for Geico Insurance.
Okay. Were you an adjuster?
Huh?
What were you, a adjuster?
No, not adjuster. They wouldn't trust me with that. I was like 19, 20.
Yeah.
I started out in the mailroom.
Yeah. Okay.
I started out in the mailroom.
Yeah.
And then worked my way up until I ended up, I got into DJing.
Yeah.
Hooked up with Howard University promoters.
Okay.
Solomon, Ron DeBerry, Tupac, Dominique, all these good guys, man. Yeah. And they were the biggest promoters in the city at the time. Yeah. And also at Howard University. Yeah. So I give props to Howard. University of Maryland was they had the biggest parties back then. That was the place to be. It wasn't clubs like that back then. You would go on campus and you would party on campus. Yeah. Yeah. So the colleges, I really started on the college circuit. Yeah. I used to, homecomings, North Carolina A&T, UVA. He was heavy at University of Virginia, Howard, of course, University of Maryland. Yeah. All of the places. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been around, man. So you mentioned that the college tour, and of course DC. So we're talking what, early mid 90s at this point?
We're talking early to mid 90s. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So at that time, you mentioned the promoters in the DMV. Around that time, you see, well, you mentioned not club, sorry, the college store, and around that same time was the beginning of the nightlife scene in DC. Yeah, like the Dreams and all these things.
Mark Barnes was just coming up.
Mm,
Abdul was just coming up, and a
yeah,
few others. Sorry if I can't think of you guys right now, but
yeah,
you know who you are. But yeah, I started out with these guys. You know, Mark was already on the up and coming, but so
yeah.
was I.
Mm,
Abdul was promoting Caribbean and parties at the Ritz.
mm,
Down at the Ritz, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I
All
got
right. So,
really, I really got lucky because
uh-huh.
after that, my first experience with promoters were the top promoters. It wasn't
Yeah.
like stages. I went from
Mm,
college right to the top clubs in DC, and you
right.
know, yeah. And I also was very fortunate. I made friends with Biz Markie in the early '90s.
Okay. Nice.
Biz took me under his wing,
Yeah.
showed me how to get music. We were record collectors, and
Okay.
because we were playing records back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
For sure.
Biz Markie was definitely the person that really showed me the
Mm,
inside of DJing, how to prepare yourself and things like that. And I was so lucky to have that brother with me.
yeah.
God bless that dude, man. One of the,
Yeah. Rest in peace. Well, you
yeah.
know what? You mentioned Biz Markie, and he showed you pretty much the science of DJing, and
Mhm.
kind of walk us through some of the. I don't want to give away your secrets, but kind
No,
of
there
walk
ain't no
us.
secret. No secret.
Yeah, kind of walk us through, because I'm sure right now there's some. Well, you know what? To put it this way, there's DJs that's gonna listen to this, and there's DJs that's out there, and you know the business inside out. And as far as the science of DJing, some of the things that Biz kind of showed you that you probably didn't realize, like, wow, this is how we do this, or like, wow, it's a different. It's not just playing music; it's a science to it. What's some of the things that he kind of brought to your attention?
Well, he showed me how to find the music, find
Mm,
the records, because back then, what made you propel yourself was you having the music. You couldn't
yeah.
get everything.
Mm,
My secret when I came to the DMV and I started DJing professionally was
yeah.
my ties to New York.
Okay. Okay.
I used to drive to New York to go
Mm,
record shopping,
yeah.
and you couldn't find the type of records that I was buying. You know,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah.
on the reggae side and the dancehall side, I was buying 45s from
Mm,
or Ethiopian Taste. A
yeah.
lot of people y'all know that Ethiopian Taste, Respect to Herb.
Yeah.
It was on Nostrand Avenue, Nostrand and Empire.
Yeah.
A lot of big DJs used to go there back in the day.
Mm,
Max Blazer, Federation Sound, Bobby Condas, Jabba, all of
okay.
them. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
a young buck and I was seeing all of them up in there. They didn't know who I was at the time, but I knew
Yeah.
who they were.
Wow. Well,
Yes, that was my thing. That was my thing, to go up there and beat everybody and come down here. There's been times I drove to New York City for one record, two
yeah.
records. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you think that's missing now? Because now as a DJ, you just pull up a laptop and download a song, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's missing, yes, because the effort, how
Yeah.
bad you want it,
Mm,
But I mean, if you could save a 3-hour, 4-hour drive to New York in 5 seconds,
yeah.
yeah, I can't knock that. I can't
Yeah.
knock that. But I'm one of those people too that
Mm,
I think, even though we're in the digital era and all of that, I
yeah.
still think you need to. You see them things back there?
Yeah.
Them
Yeah. Yeah.
pieces still? I
Nice.
think that's the fundamentals right there. That's grassroots right there.
I agree.
I think great DJs
Mm,
should start on them turntables right there, man.
yeah. I
Yeah.
totally agree. I would tell people this joke. I learned to read looking at record jackets as a kid.
Wow. Yes. Yeah. I believe that. I
Yeah.
believe that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's so much information on that jacket.
Yeah. It's a great point to bring up, man, because I used to know the producer, the year, the record company,
Yeah.
Everything. Now I don't even know who the artists are sometimes. I just know I like this,
Right.
Back then you didn't have a choice. That thing's spinning in your face all night and every day, and you will see it,
Yeah, it's crazy. It was to the point sometimes you could look at a jacket and look at the company and you know it's gonna be it's good material because the brand behind the jacket, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So okay, so the DC club scene, like we first mentioned, a lot has changed obviously over the years, man. What's some of the highlights you remember back then?
Oh boy. We used to party different. Like one of the places that kicked off, and I'm not saying it's the first place, but it was Quigley's.
Okay.
On I Street, like 17th and I. After that, it was just, that place was mayhem.
Yeah.
And then Mark Barnes had his thing going on. He was doing hotel parties.
Okay.
And then the Spy Club. But Quigley's was like, everybody used to go. All the schools, GW, Howard. Quigley's was one of the foundations that don't get its respect. Shout out to Franz.
Okay.
Yeah, Franz was the guy that owned it back then. Haitian guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So how did you end up at the WKYS? That was what was the the intro to that?
The intro to that was, I never aspired to be on the radio. That's not what I wanted out of this. But I wasn't going to deny it or decline it. But they came for me. They came for me. It was DJ Iron was the music director back then.
Yeah.
And Daryl Huckabee was the program director.
Okay.
I think it was either Daryl Huckabee or Steve Hegwood. And yeah, they hired me. I was like a guest DJ every now and then.
Okay.
And things got so hot that PGC noticed that I didn't have a schedule on there. They just knew I would do special weekends.
Okay, pop-up site.
Right. And PGC was like, look, come over. CeeLo called me and said, come over here. Jay Stevens want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. And I went over there and they was like, you want to do I mixed that one day and they called me in the office after that and was like, we want you on the air every day. We want you to do a lunchtime mix.
Okay.
A lunchtime mix or a nighttime mix. I forget what time slot. CeeLo was at that time. He was 5 o'clock. Funk regulated CeeLo. Rest in peace. That's my good brother.
Yeah. Condolences.
But PGC called and I started doing there. And then I got this phone call from, it might have been Iron.
Okay.
They was like, Trini, did we hear you on PGC today? And I was like, yeah. Did I say, I sound good? Was I rocking? He was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I don't have any contracts over there, y'all. Y'all ain't checking for me like they checking for me. And and they were like, all right, look, man, don't go back on the radio over there. Just come back over here. Let's talk about something.
Okay.
I had to go back. I was like, I got to go back. I gave Jay Stevens my word that I would come this time. And when I went back there, Jay Stevens had called me in the office and respect to Jay Stevens, good dude. And he called me and he was like, Trini, I just spoke to your, I forget what GM or the owner, Alfred Liggins. He was like, I just got off the phone with Alfred Liggins.
Okay.
And they, like it wasn't a good idea for you to play over here and you would be losing a lot of opportunities. And they were correct because KYS ran the streets. We were in the clubs and everything, you know. And I wouldn't get, they wouldn't be able to hire me for all of these gigs anymore because I had that WPGC stigma, attached to me being on there. So I gave it some thought, and I was Jay Stevens was like, he agreed that, look, man, they're probably right. So go ahead over there. He was like, but just do me one more favor. Just come tonight at 8 o'clock. And I mixed at 8 p.m. and they had all of these sound bites. Of baby crying, like you hear a little baby crying, and they was addressing it to KYS, like it was all kind of bacchanal going on. And,
oh wow!
But I felt good that these people were really noticing me, the hard work that I was putting in for the last, few years, 3 and 4 years. Fortunately, I had Biz Markie with me on my side, and Monty, that's his soul, Monty Wanza. They were really taking care of me. They were ready. We met Biz Markie real quick. at one of my college gigs, UVA.
Okay.
And, Biz was DJing with me at the time, and ever since then, Biz and I had been friends from that day on.
Okay.
And Biz and them really helped me to navigate that radio scene, and this is how you should go about it, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay. So 25 years later, you're still pumping.
25 years later.
All right. So this is the part I need. I believe you're the one that told me this, but I just want to clarify. So when you first started on the radio, you were more hip hop, right?
All hip hop.
All hip hop. And I've heard the first person to play soca on radio was Slice. Is that true?
Slice, yes. Slice was the first Caribbean DJ on KYS. I came out. But Slice, don't. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think we used to play no soca on the radio back then. None.
Okay.
None. I could be wrong. Slice, please correct me if I am wrong. But no, it wasn't no soca. It was years after I started sliding in soca music. I started sneaking it in when I, felt more confident. And unfortunately, soca music started getting very popular also.
Yeah.
Too. At the time when I started, it wasn't as popular with the American scene, as it was the Trinis and the other islands and things like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since you mentioned soca, I mean, of course, like I first mentioned, 25 years in the you're a veteran now, obviously. You got the Saturday night Afro-Caribbean mix that you usually do, and of course the Sunday Culture Clash.
Yes, that's the Sunday night Culture Bash International show, and Saturday night Island Vibes, which is the longest mix show in radio in DC.
Oh wow!
25 years later, and we're still doing the Saturday night.
All right, cool. All right, you mentioned Ricky Platinum. So you were instrumental in Ricky Platinum coming into WKYS?
Not really, no. Ricky came in like I came in, skills, pretty much. He did have some help to come in there, but Ricky, he was doing his thing, and I always advocate that. Make them come get you. You don't go harass them. Make you so bad that they have to come and get you. You know what I'm saying? That's a good way to come in. You know what I mean?
I agree.
There's a lot of dudes that be at the front door, just you're
looking thirsty, man.
Just go prove yourself, bro. Ricky did his thing, and he was trying for a long time.
Yeah,
he was trying for a long time, and he did his thing. Props.
Nice. All right. So once again, man, like I mentioned, your resume is very extensive. I also read that you toured around the world. You spent a lot of time in Africa as well, Kenya, Ethiopia.
Yes.
What was it like in Africa, DJing in Africa? What was that experience like for you?
That's, to me, that showed me that there's a God, bro. I don't know how I ended up. I was actually living in Ethiopia.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
For 10 years. Yeah, for 10 years.
Oh, for real? Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was working at this hotel that a friend of mine built. And it was at the time the only luxury hotel in all of Africa.
Okay, nice.
The luxury hotel is beyond 5-star. It's a step beyond 5-star when you're in the luxury collection. So it was a luxury collection hotel, and I actually lived in the hotel. If you ever heard of the African Union in Africa, that's like the UN here. All of the African leaders come, and but they stayed in the hotel that I worked in. So I was actually entertaining world leaders.
Yeah.
At the place where I was in Ethiopia. Shout out to Jambi, shout out to Sheikh Mohammed and everybody that helped me out with that. I'm sure they'll be listening and looking to this.
Nice, man. Nice. Okay. So you also have a lot of high profile clients that you work with. I'll call some of the names so it won't sound like you're boastful. I'll call the names.
You could call them, it's still gonna be boastful.
Well, this is important because I'm going to piggyback on something. So some of the names that DJ Trini name is affiliated with is names like Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Allen Iverson, LeBron James. The list goes on.
Mario, how are you doing your homework?
Hey, I can't come to school without doing my homework, man.
Yes. Steve Francis. I could go on and on and on.
Yeah.
I did. My friend Adoria, who she
Okay.
managed me also for a while. She
Okay.
gave me a phone call one day and was like, Mike Tyson is turning 30, and we decided we want you to DJ the party at his house in Connecticut.
Wow.
The same house that 50 Cent's on right now.
Yeah.
5 bedrooms and 15 kitchens or something. But I ended up DJing in there.
Wow.
Yes, I ended up DJing. It's like one of my first big gigs. And here I am in Mike Tyson's house and, rubbing elbows with these dudes,
Right.
But shout out to Adoria. And Mike Tyson and I became friends after that. We weren't great friends.
Yeah.
But there was a time when I was DJing for Abdul in DC Live.
Yeah.
And one of the security guards while I was DJing, he said, Trini, Mike Tyson is at the door looking for you.
Oh, yeah?
And he was like, I can't make this up. Mike Tyson is at the door looking for you.
Right. Yeah.
So I let somebody come on, and I went and met Mike Tyson outside, and he was there. And at the time, he was pushing he was in the music business, and he had a group he was pushing. So
I didn't know that.
Come out there to come and listen to some music that they had, but that blew a lot of people's minds outside. Like,
yeah.
It was this one dude. Short story. He came with flyers while I was standing out there with Mike Tyson. Like, come to my party. Come to my. Gave Mike Tyson a flyer.
Yeah.
And Mike was like, man, can't you see me talking to this dude, man? You gonna be that rude? And I was like, Mike, chill. Mike was about to go up in his forehead.
Yeah.
But yes, true story.
That's wild, man. That's wild. Okay. Michael Jordan, how that happened to? How that experience?
Adoria. I don't know who Adoria is in DC. She's big time. She knows all of these people. And he had Air Restaurant.
Okay.
Michael Jordan opened up a restaurant called Air, and I did one of the gigs in there in Air.
Okay.
And I also, I forget, I was the Washington Wizards DJ during the Michael Jordan era.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yes,
nice.
Michael Jordan was here. I was on the hardwood floor playing music for the Wizards.
Yeah. Wow. See, I told you, man, your history. Look at you. Can't remember that. Your history is so really.
Right. Social media, to help us out.
Yeah. Back then, that's social media like that. You mentioned you got a call, and it took me back to the time. You mentioned his name previously, Ed Lee Shine. So I interviewed Ed Lee Shine. And he told me he got a call from you in reference to a gig in Trinidad with Born Jamaicans doing a show. You remember that phone call you made to him?
I remember like it was yesterday because the thing about it was the T-Fed was they weren't performing together.
Yeah.
They were not performing together. They were like Tribe Called Quest, or like, they were just long story. Y'all gonna have to read that book on your own. But I gave them a call that they couldn't refuse. I was like, my brother in Trinidad, respect Matthew Desant.
Yeah.
He said, yo, I want you to book Born Jamaicans, because he saw me traveling with them. I had traveled with them to Colombia, Bogota, and some other place. But he said, I want them to open up for Damian Marley and Protege.
Okay. Yeah.
And I gave him the call, and they could not say no. They wanted to say no, but they say no, not the offer that we gave them out there. And that show ended up being an incredible show. You could ask any Trinidadian that was at that show. It was madness in that show. I think it was in the Savannah. It was in the Savannah.
Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, he mentioned that, man. He said DJ Trini called and made an offer they couldn't refuse, man.
Verbatim.
Yeah, man. Nice.
That was good. I was glad to see them together. Those brothers work so good together. And the Trinidadians, like, they were really big in Trinidad. They really got fans in Trinidad. And you know, Trinidadians are very musical people.
Yeah.
So they knew every song. Like, they knew songs I didn't even know, and I'm DJing for them.
Right. Yeah. Nah, man,
Yeah,
trust me. Bunch Americans was big back in the day,
they
man.
were really. I didn't even know that until I went to Trinidad. We was on
Oh, for real?
96, yeah, Chinese Laundry
Yeah.
radio station, and I was like blown away by the respect that they were showing.
Yeah, man. I remember having the cassette. That's how far back it goes.
He
Yeah.
said cassette, people. He said cassette.
Yeah, I had a cassette, man.
Big up Notch. Big up yourself, Notch.
Yeah, man, for real. All right. So you've been in the game a long time, of course. You actually just came back from Jamaica for the conference. How was that?
International music conference in Jamaica.
Yeah.
That is one great conference that
Mm.
that they're employing other. It's not just Jamaicans, the other people from other islands.
Yes.
Young Brother was there this year.
Yeah.
DJ Mac was there, and a whole bunch of other executives. Last year was Cass and Voice.
Mm.
You know, all of the Jamaican artists always come through. That's Shaggy's the one that really is heading that way. Shaggy, Sharon Burke, and Judith.
Mhm.
Judith. I love that conference because it's building music for people that want to get in the music industry throughout the whole Caribbean.
Yeah.
And not just in Jamaica, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very, very helpful conference. Getting into the music business in any capacity, whether you want to be a lawyer or a producer, songwriter, that conference is very vital. I love it. I love what they're doing there in Jamaica. And it's been 5 years now. Next year will be the 6th year.
Oh, nice.
You in the industry should check that out. Look into that international music conference.
Yeah, I definitely was planning on attending this year, but that some obligations had to fulfill. But I definitely plan on attending.
Yes.
Next year,
top podcasters, the top influencers. These people have millions of followers. Like, very, very good event.
Yeah,
very good event. Very helpful.
All right. So let's talk about we are talking about the music industry. Of course, like I said, you've been on the ground, you have seen changes and between artists, promoters, what's your take on the whole, what's the best way to ask this question? What's your take on the industry altogether? Both because you've been to the top. You pretty much been in all four corners of the entertainment space,
Right.
and maybe I'll start with this. My perspective, I feel like there's a lot of work needs to be done in the Caribbean space, especially when it comes to artists and management and the level of professionalism.
Yes.
Well, what's your opinion on that?
A lot of older people in the game don't like a lot of the new music that's coming out.
Yeah.
But myself, I love the new soca that's coming out. I love what they're doing in Trinidad. The groovy soca is taking over.
Yeah.
It's taking over. And dance hall, a lot of the older dance hall fans don't like a lot of the new dance hall.
Yeah.
But me, I don't agree with them. I like a lot of the new dance hall. Me, I'm a melody person. I listen to rhythms and I don't get too tied up into lyrics so much. Although that's probably not a good thing, but I'm a more, if it makes me bounce, I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you like massacre type vibe.
Right. You got to be talking about some crazy. Can I curse on you?
Well, my daughter.
You got to be doing some crazy stuff for me to not like it, or saying some crazy wild stuff, But right now, like dance hall, for instance, it's a lot of bad content, a lot of violence. In Trinidad too, the same thing. That's what But I try not to get too tied up into the lyrics. I'm more into melodies and beats and the production end of it. And I try not to get into the politics of the music. And that's probably why I like the music. Still, a lot of people are like, no, they're promoting too much violence, which they're right.
Yeah.
They're right, but we don't get tied up into the lyrics, man. Somebody's actually telling you their life experience and how they came up. And that's just how it is,
Yeah. There's also a talk I interviewed Shawnee B recently, and I asked him the same question. There's been a big talk with Afro beats and dancehall. Of course, some of the competition Afro beats taken away or taken or whatever from dancehall or whatnot. What's your take on that?
Big up Shawnee B. That's my boy. I was just with him in Jamaica.
Nice.
But I don't agree with that at all for the simple fact, and people could say I'm biased, But Afro beats to me is groovy soca.
Okay.
When I first started hearing these, I was the first person on radio to play Afro beats because I was already living in Ethiopia for the late 90s. So I was bringing back the Afro beats here before anybody was even listening to it. I was putting it on the air.
Okay.
But I believe that, a lot of Africans are going to disagree with me. But it's soca to me. It's soca to me, And then I was in South Africa a few months ago.
Is it fair to say you feel like Afrobeats is taken from soca then?
No. I feel like it's adding to it.
Okay.
I feel like it because soca still needs to be propelled. You look at all of these years, Afrobeat come in 5 years and took over.
Oh, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Well, there's a lot more Africans than 1.4 million people is in Trinidad, or there's a they wanted it. 1 million hits on a video in Africa is not good.
Yeah,
1 million hits in Trinidad is excellent.
Yeah, fair point.
So but, nothing to take away from the Afro beat.
Fair point.
If you really want to do your research, these beats and drums come from Africa.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So they can really counter what I say, but I feel like Afro beats sound a lot like soca, groovy soca, and calypso.
Melodies.
Right.
Okay. All right. So another one for you. What's your take on AI in music now?
Big question in the music conference.
Yeah.
I gotta agree with Shaggy said about it because we asked Shaggy the same question, and Shaggy was like he likes it, and I agree because AI is going to make people step their game up. AI is going to pick the best of the best. You can't be mediocre no more.
Yeah.
When they come in with that AI, a lot of people are going to get left behind. Which is good for us because we're going to get the best of the best from people because AI going to. How you going to win against AI? That's going to be a tough.
Yeah.
When they get that down packed right, it's going. We're going to win because we're going to hear some really good music.
Yeah.
But at the same token, we're going to hear some really good talent. Because they got to go against AI. That's tough if you're up and coming artist. You got to head to head with AI.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that it's going to step up the competition and make people really get into their work,
Okay, fair enough. You mentioned Shaggy. Were you part of SiriusXM with a channel 332?
Yes, how could I forget that? Sorry, Shaggy. Yes. It's channel 332 on your XM dial. It's called Shaggy Bombastic Radio.
Okay.
I'm on there every month, Thursday through Sunday. We got a few DJs that's on there. We play Thursday through Sunday, and it's a good. We get to do what we want to do, within the diaspora, But it's I love it. I love the freedom there, and and I love that I get people get to hear me in all over the country and in Canada.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this question. So a list came out. I'm not sure if you saw it this week here in the DMV about the top DJs in the DMV. You seen the list?
Yeah, I saw it. I had a good laugh, just like you. I had a good laugh. I love it. I like Bacchanal,
It was an interesting list. Listen, to be fair to the list, there's I would say about 5 people on the list that deserve to be there. The others, I would say it seemed like it was a friend list, or the person who put the list together might have been pretty young,
Right. Yes. But I leave that to the audience, man.
Yeah.
I let them, I let them do it, let them shine and everything,
Yeah.
As far as myself, that's great. I love to see people coming up, man.
Yeah.
I love to see people, especially good people, especially people that are, don't let it go to their head. There's a lot of DJs out here cocky for no reason. For no reason.
Yeah, like how you said.
You know what I mean? I just sit back and I watch and I laugh, but no Bacchanal.
Yeah. Go ahead, finish his thought.
Out of all of those DJs, a real DJ, like DJ, play music, mixing. You know what I mean? How many DJs can rock a party without using a microphone on that list? On that list.
Yeah.
The list changes when you do that. I'm a DJ. I'm not an MC. I could get on the mic, but I ain't going up on the stage, getting on wild and winding up, and that's not me. I'll leave that to somebody else. That's just not my angle. You know, I'll get on the mic and rock the mic, but as far as leaving the booth to get up in the front and start playing, that's great. I love that for them. That's nothing.
Yeah,
I'll leave that to somebody else. Kind of like Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Kind of like Private Ryan. You don't see Private Ryan getting on bad and all that. He lets somebody else do that. And he stays behind the machine, you know? I'll stay behind the machine. I'm good with that. But you're going to hear some good music. You're going to hear some good mixing, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I do. That's what I concentrate on.
What tips do you have for upcoming DJ? A DJ right now, might be in the game for a little while and trying to take it to the next level.
I get asked a lot of questions by young DJs, and I always tell them the first thing that might come to my mind is, until you get where you need to be, stay humble. And even when you get to where you need to be, stay humble, because you're never at the top. There's always more to come. You know, I haven't had a day job in over 20 years, bro. I've been DJing right since then. You know what I mean? Because I try to stay working. I don't stay in one genre.
Yeah.
Started out with hip hop. I've always had Caribbean music, reggae music, dancehall, always. So I was born with that. That was easy. But those are the things that help me, to get to the places, to get the gigs that these other DJs, especially all of the DJs on that list. When was the last time they DJ'd at the Pentagon? When was the last time they DJ'd at Facebook headquarters?
Damn.
When was the last time they DJ'd on BET?
Damn.
Rap City, Planet Groove, 106 in Park, Teen Summit.
Bro.
So really, if we want to say, you know what I mean? I love it, man. I told you I like Bacchanal, and I'm trying to keep it clean here.
Well, listen,
because I can get into some stuff.
No,
we ain't going there today. We keeping it.
Hey, I wanted to keep talking because if I didn't ask that question, you would not talk about those Pentagon, those accolades right there. Those are the ones that need to drop. They just keep dropping.
Right. And I'm more into the corporate scene now than in the clubs. I still DJ in the clubs and stuff. But right now, I got big bills now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the same bills I had 10 years ago. You understand what I'm saying?
Big
gigs.
Yeah.
They pay the bills.
Yeah, facts.
They pay the bills, man. Yeah.
I like how you said that. You need big gigs. You got big bills.
Yeah. You know who told me that? Jabba Asif B, Hot 97.
Yeah,
he's like, this DJing money is not getting me the kind of money that I want to live the kind of lifestyle that I want. You have all the biggest gigs in DC every day, and you're still gonna make a certain area of money. You know what I'm saying?
True.
There's certain anomalies in the city. I think Quicksilver is a good anomaly. He does well. He did another route. He went another route. He did a reality show thing, and then he did a morning show. He had a lot of good. He did his thing. His promotion game is sick, and his manager, Sean Sees, great. Those people, they are really on top of their game as far as promotion and marketing, and that's what it is. That's where it is right there. That's when your promotion and marketing game is good. You don't even have to be great. You don't even have to be that great.
Yeah, I believe, man, talent is only 60%. That is my take. I believe talent is 60%. The other 40 is a combination of marketing, promotion and networking and all these different things.
I would say talent is about 70% though, bro.
You say 70? All right.
Longevity,
Yeah,
if you whack, it's gonna come out at some point that he ain't all that.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Like my turntable skills with people on that list.
Yeah.
They can, you know what I want to say.
No, I mean, you can say it. Listen,
their turntable skills. I'm not saying that their turntable skills is not good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it ain't where I'm at.
Yeah.
I tell them to get on these pieces of steel right here. They're gonna call me an OG. and why we need to do. But these are just fundamental things. I like to start things from the root. You know what I'm saying? If I want to do something, if I want to be a realtor, I want to start from from the fundamentals. I just
the basics.
The basics, exactly.
No, listen, I totally agree, man. And people have called and asked me, hey, so what do you think about the list? How come you're not on the list? I said, listen, I have no business in being on the list because number one, I'll tell you why. I'm not knocking anybody, of course. Like I said, there's five. In my opinion, there's 5 top DJs I believe should be, on the list. Cool, yeah, they should be on there. But there's no reason I should be on a list if DJ Trini is on the list. Vice Master G Nice not on the list. Slice not on the list. I mean, you could go on and on and on and on. You know what I mean? But that's the whole different day, whole different story. All right.
That's one person's list.
Yeah.
That's one person's list. That don't affect me, man. That's their opinion, and everybody's allowed to have their opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we talked about that. What's your top 5 DJs in your mind of all times? I know Biz is going to be number 1 on the top 5.
You know, I have my own DJ management company.
Okay.
Called Gold Boot Entertainment.
Okay.
We have some actually top-notch DJs, and I'm not just going to name off my DJs.
Yeah.
But 2 of my favorite DJs are on there. DJ SNS, and from Harlem, he is probably the top. I can't say that because I got a lot of good friend DJs, Cree and all of them. They all my people. But SNS and DJ SNS, everybody know him from New York, probably DMV too.
Yeah.
And he's Mary J. Blige's personal DJ and all that, and a whole bunch of DJ for Fat Joe and all these people.
Okay.
DJ LS1, who's one of my best friends, and he's like he's one of my favorite DJs.
Okay.
He was DMX's DJ.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Onyx DJ. He was E's DJ. 50 Cent, G Unit DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let me see. That's 2. Big Capri, definitely one of the pioneers that helped me myself come up.
Okay, facts.
I DJ'd with him and starting in the early 90s, and me and him been friends ever since.
Okay.
Ever since. Good dude. Biz Markie.
Yeah.
For sure, Biz Markie. And I would have to say, I know I'm forgetting a lot of people. Well, I'm not even going to mention DMV yet. I'm going to keep. But I would have to say Clark Kent.
Okay.
Clark Kent.
Yeah, he passed on, didn't he?
Yeah, he passed on. Rest in peace, Clark Kent. Good brother. Good brother. Good brother. Yeah. That was 5, right? Or was that 4?
I feel like that was 4. I wasn't really counting. I was more listening, but I think that's all like 4, I'll give you one more.
One more would be, you know what? I'm going to say the last one, a local DJ, a DMV DJ. I would have to say Funk Regulator CeeLo.
Okay.
Rest in peace. Got to give that brother his props. That brother had skills in the 80s. He was hot. And those are the first people I heard on radio that I really respected. DJ Cool, you too. DJ Cool.
Yeah.
But technically wise, it was Funk Regulator CeeLo and DJ Iron. I would hear them on the radio and be like, wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of practice to get that good,
Yeah.
See, these DJs today don't really got to do that. They can talk over their lacks. Their things that, you know what I'm saying? You could just talk over. You don't even have to mix and then press start. We couldn't do that. They had to make sense.
Yeah.
And we were dealing with people that stayed on the dance floor. These days, it's a bunch of tables.
Yeah.
Sitting at tables, popping bottles and whatnot. We had to deal with full dance floors.
Right.
Facts. We had to keep these people on. I learned that lesson hard way in Africa. I thought I could go there and just, do what I did here.
Yeah.
But after a while, I put music on and I turn around to get one of my records or whatever.
Right.
Turn back around and it'll be nobody on the dance floor. Like the whole crowd would collectively walk off.
Oh yeah.
Ethiopians would tell you. Never in my life this happened. Ethiopia, played one song.
Yeah.
And when I tell you everybody, I'm not saying it's happened to me. It happened to all the DJs.
Right.
If you had to switch the music up, they will walk right off.
Oh, that's crazy.
But these are good lessons I learned,
Right.
coming up,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I love all of my lessons and experiences that I had. It made me, to be the person that I am today. And, it humbles me, man, you know.
Nice. You also a part of the Jam Rock cruise as well, yeah?
Jam Rock cruise, yes. Big up Dan Dalton and the whole crew for having me. They came, once again, looking for me.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go beg like other people doing,
Yeah.
like, DJs they real haters, bro. A lot of DJs haters. They stab you up in your back, don't even know you. I ain't gonna name no names. That's the next interview. But DJs, but yes, I'm very grateful that Jam Rock Cruise recognized me, and I got to DJ with them for years.
Yeah.
And great experiences. I met all of these artists from Buju, Sizzler on down,
Yeah.
Everybody, Luciano and Burning Spear, even the bands, Inner Circle, Yeah, I'm a real conscious reggae listening person. When I'm on those long drives, I'm listening to conscious music normally.
Yeah.
So big up to Inner Circle, my real good friends, man, out there in Miami. Yeah.
You've been wrong. I asked Shawnee B this question, and the question originated when I had asked Shaba this question, and then in the conversation with Shawnee B, it came to my mind. Of all the people you met, over at this point 30 plus years in the entertainment space, was the one person that after you met them was like, man, I can't believe I'm here. And at this point you don't need to meet nobody else after. But Shaba, that was Nelson Mandela. Who was it for you?
Well, you said for Shaba.
Yeah, his person was Nelson Mandela. He said he met Nelson Mandela. He don't need to meet nobody else after that.
I think I could beat that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, let me hear you.
Respect to Shaba.
Yeah.
But I was fortunate enough in 1999 to be DJing the Millennium Party in Ethiopia. Okay. And I met Rohan Marley and Lauryn Hill.
Oh, wow.
Together, yes. And me and Rohan became friends then. But I ended up hanging out with Mother B, which is Bob Marley's mother.
Yeah.
And me and her became friends while they were there. And
oh, wow.
that was something that was really a life-changing moment for me, man. To meet Bob's mother and hang out with her and to blaze with her and all,
Yeah.
That was a life-altering moment for me too.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Say, Mike Tyson will always be that also. That's my man.
Wow.
The Mike Tyson.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
Yeah, man. I've been very fortunate.
All right. So this part of the podcast is called 2000 Questions About Me. I'm not going to ask you 2000 questions, but I'm going to ask you to pick a number from 1 to 2000. The number that you pick will be the question that's asked out of the book.
1 to 2000, a number?
Yeah. Give me a number from 1 to 2000, and that's going to be the question.
You have 2,000 questions written down?
No, it's a book. It's based on a book. You know what? I think I messed it up. I didn't say it correctly. So
yeah.
Let me do it again. I do this so many times. I think I'm starting to get lazy with it. So,
right. Let's explain to the audience what's this part of the show. I want to hear.
All right. So let's go. So this part of the podcast or this part of the show is called 2000 Questions About Me. It's based on a book that I brought a couple of years ago. So I'm going to ask you to pick a number from 1 to 2000, and the number that you pick will be the question that's asked out of the book.
Oh, God. So pick your poison.
Pretty much. I have no clue what number you're going to pick, obviously, and I don't know what I have no idea, what the question is going to be.
Oh, Lord. All right. Pick a number.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to pick a number. Let's go with 50.
50. All right. Simple. 50. Something you fear might change you. Something you fear might change you.
Good question. Something I fear might change me. Relocating.
That's a fair answer.
Relocating, because when it's all said and done, I don't want to leave here, this country, but I want to have several homes, and one of those, a few of those places is going to be Ethiopia,
Okay.
Mexico, Trinidad. So, I still want to stay grounded. I don't want,
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking for a different life.
Yeah.
And I'm done with all of this. I'm looking for a very peaceful, quiet, no loud music.
Enough.
Yes. I fear it might change me, but I'm hoping it'll change me for the better. And, because this world today just, in my later years, I don't want to be around a lot of humans, man. This is the stuff that I see going on. This evening, I'm walking my dog, this lady beating her dog. I approached the lady and I wasn't very nice to her, but these type of things, man. You know what I mean? People not,
Yeah.
But when I travel, I see how people treat each other, and it's a lot of times a lot different from here in America.
Yeah.
I've noticed, people, foreigners are very humble people in most countries that I've been to. I learned so much from being in Ethiopia.
Yeah,
I learned a lot of humility and patience. Us here in America, we so fast. I walk faster than everybody that walk with me when I leave this country.
Right.
I'm walking past everybody, and I'm normal, but they slow down, bro. Slow down.
Yeah. I could see Ethiopia for you, man. I know you lived there for a while. I could see you in Ethiopia.
I love that place, even though there's turmoil going on. But like I said, I don't want to be downtown anymore. I want to be in the bush. I want to be up in the hills. I'm done with the city. When I'm done here, I'm in the hills, bro. You're gonna need GPS coordinates, not an address.
Oh man. Let me probably go and turn around stuff, man.
Long time. Don't watch the ball head, bro.
Okay, all right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. All right, so at this point, man, I'm just gonna open it up. Any last things you want to say, man, before you wrap it up?
Oh man, I love what you're doing, bro. This is great for the industry, man, and the community, and I see what you're doing, going a long way, bro. And
thanks, man.
And I hope you reach your goals in this, and I appreciate you for having me. And people keep listening, man. I'm on KYS Saturday night, 10 p.m., Sunday night, 10 to 12 a.m. And Boombastic Radio starts every Thursday at 7 p.m., goes to Sunday on channel 332 on XM Radio. So tune in and listen up to your brother, and support, and we're just trying to push our, our industry and our culture, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel confident that I'm doing my part. Nobody was playing soca on the radio. Not because I was the first person, even though I was. It's because we couldn't do it back then.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it back then. The program directors would be like, "Are you crazy? We ain't playing no who Bungie what Marshall who? Nah, we don't know that."
Yeah. Wow.
Now it's a whole different situation,
Yeah.
And bring back DC Carnival, man.
The politics, man. But
hey, whoever listening, come on, man. Georgia Avenue's never been the same.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, not first and foremost, but I just want to thank you, obviously, for taking time out your busy schedule and for your contribution to the arts and culture, man. I'm pushing Caribbean culture forward and taking those chances, in the early years, and like I said, your name
still taking chances, bro.
Yeah, your name have a lot of weight in these streets, man. DJ Trini.
I appreciate that, brother. Really do it. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna get on the next list, bro. We're gonna get on the next list.
I got you, man. Later.
Oh, you like it, bro? You see all this?
Who, me? I understand, man.
Now, damn.
It's cool, man. We gotta come up with our own list eventually.
We gotta come up with our own list.
Yeah, the real legends of the DMV,
All right. Blessed love, bro.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Trini.
All right. Okay.